Question 2. What are the main issues and debates in this subject area, and what are the three most important resources that you have used? So the three resources that I have used are Exploring Psychedelic Trance and Electronic Dance Music in Modern Cultures, Emilia Simeo, Armando Malheiro da Silva, and Sergio Tenehiro Magalhães. Music, Emotion and Trancing, Deep Listeners, Judith Becker, 2004, and Vogue, Dance, Flow, and a New Dimension for Performance Psychology, Legia Carter and Jahima Phillips, 2019. So the main debate is the debate of consciousness, and I've got a couple of perspectives and quotes. So Damasmo's theory of consciousness, as it is key, I believe, to understanding the relationship between trance consciousness and music. The brain nuclei, primarily concerned with homeostasis, are closely interconnected with these concerned with emotion. This suggests that homeostasis of the body and the production of emotion are conjoined. This is the basis for the assumption that emotions are basic to survival and adaptation. Someone who supports similar theories as Damasmo is Pangsep, and a quote here, like Damasmo believes that the earliest evolutionary roots of self go back to the development of certain structures in the brainstem and the midbrain that are related to the maintaining basic metabolic survival mechanisms of which emotional systems are a part. He then goes on to maintain that emotional structures of the brain are fundamental to the maintenance of the respiratory rate, the heartbeat, skin temperature, and other autonomic body systems that create the homeostasis of the functioning body. And someone who opposes those views is Sheldrake. And a quote from that is, "Our minds extend beyond our brains. They do so in the simplest acts of perception. The images are where they seem to be." And according to Democritus's theory of perception, we send signals with our sense organs as sort of effluxes, and they are emitted from all objects that they would be sent to the object of perception and then sent back to the sense organ, forming a perception. Burkett, 1977. So that's like different perspectives there, like two theorists thinking it coming from inside the brain, and then Sheldrake thinking it coming from outside of the brain and outside of the body altogether. I'd say the next issue is ritual practice. So I've got a quote here from Tarantismo of Ophelia to the self-stabbing of Swazi Bisu and the Balinese Bhutan trances. Trancing individuals trance and their normal bodily limitations and perform feats of physical endurance that are unthinkable to ordinary states of consciousness. Walking on burning coals without being burned, piercing one's flesh without bleeding, and bending swords one would not normally be able to curve. Roget, 1985, page 13 to 14. So I think that would be a safety hazard issue, just because if you're not a part of that culture or have those techniques embedded and trained in your body, you would be harming your physical body without that knowledge. And another issue I would say that arose was within the house ballroom community. So I've got a quote: HBC comprises of houses which take on form and function of family, providing refuge for its members in the form of a support network. Callio, Palmer, Rudy Fernandez, and the Adolescent Medicine Trials Network for HIV and AIDS Interventions, page 145. Another quote, community connectedness is defined as fulfillment of individuals' urge to belong to a community larger than themselves and fulfill needs emotional, psychological, and physical through mutually beneficial relationship within that community. Frost and Mayer, 2012. I do think for that community, an issue that arises looking at these texts would be discrimination. The fact that they have to make their own kind of community just for living authentically as themselves. I think that's what that issue would be.